program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm sure Kimbaloye in Abuja. Would like to tell you that there is a change in the schedule of the People's Town Hall, which was supposed to hold between the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, and his running mate, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa. It has been rescheduled for December the 11th, 2022. Well, someone said to me that there will be a lot of surprises in the 2023 election, and that got me thinking. And I began to really analyze what could happen based on our political history. Some stronghold myths will be broken. New loyalties will be established, and some old loyalties will be shattered. Disappointment, you will see a lot of them. New political map will be created, and there will be a lot of recalibration of whatever you understand as a size of our politics in the last few years. In short, brace up for the unusual. Some of them you will start seeing, or you have already seen. It's been, happening already. As we approach the big election years, there are always been internal political turmoil for the big political parties, such as we're seeing happening in the People's Democratic Party, PDP. 5 governors of the PDP, now popularly called the PDP G5, met in Lagos, and they have also said they're open to negotiations. The stance of the PDP G5 further establishes the division that has been seen in the PDP, which has lingered ahead of the 2023 elections. They met in Lagos at the residence of the party's former Deputy National Chairman and member of the Board of Trustees, Chief Ologbandiyan George, and they announced the formation of the Integrity Group of the PDP. The chieftains present at that meeting included the former governors of Oyo, Ekiti, former governor of Cross River, Donald Duke, and former governor of Plateau State, General Yang. Others who include the deputy chairman of the PDP, Taufik Arakpaja, Chief Dan Obi, Senator Olaka Nwogu, Senator Mao Abunwa, Senator Nassif Sulaiman, and several others who now belong to the Integrity Group of the PDP. At the end of that meeting, a former governor, General Yang, was one who spoke to journalists alongside the governor of Oyo State. And he said the group is still open to consultations now to resolving the crisis rocking the main opposition party, PDP. Take a listen to the governor of Oyo State and former governor of Plateau State, General Yang.
We, at this meeting, have decided to stand on the decisions we took at our last Port Harcourt meeting. And we hereby again reiterate that the window for reconciliation in our great party, the PDP, remains open.
The G5 is all about the Integrity Group. You can see us as serving governors as the face of this struggle, but the leaders and elders of the party that you see here, they are the people behind those faces.
Well, you heard some of the leaders of the Integrity Group. Now, let's talk about it. On Saturday, let me remind you also, the Rivers State PDP launched a governorship campaign in the state where Governor Nyesom Wike doubled down on the reasons some of the governors of the G5 want the party national chairman, Yocha Ayu, removed. Speaking about Senator Yocha Ayu and some of those things they perceive as a wrongdoing of the senator and the reasons why they want him out of that chair. Let's get some perspectives and hear from the other side of the divide. I'm being joined by one of the spokespersons of the Atiku Okowa Presidential Campaign Organization and the former Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Ologbandiyan. Thank you so much, Mr. Ologbandiyan, for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much, Sheung. It's been a while. How are you doing?
I'm okay, I'm good.
All right.
You're not a member of the Integrity Group.
PDP represents integrity.
So you're a member of the Integrity
PDP
Group.
as a political party
Is an integrity
represents
party.
integrity. It has integrity in its party. It has members have integrity in their DNA. So if a group of people within the party chooses to call themselves integrity group, they are still functioning within the realm.
It reminds me of presidential primaries.
Yes.
We have the unity list on the grounds at the Eagle Square, and you have integrity list.
Presidential primary, or you mean party positions? And
at presidential primaries, either for your party or the APC, you find lists going around when people are trying to. So when you see integrity group, soon enough you probably will see unity group also emerging from the PDP. But as you see this, give us an understanding of how your campaign council see what is happening. One would think that this is not the first time that this group has said there is still an opening for negotiation. Is it that Mr. Atiku Abubakar is not taking that negotiation path?
He is. And as a matter of fact, when I read in the social media at the end of the meeting of the governors that they have opened a window of reconciliation, well, what came to my mind was that a few days ago, when the candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, the Waziri Adamawa, and the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, met with the Guild of Editors in Lagos, he was very emphatic about his readiness for reconciliation. And even today, after this meeting, when I had the opportunity to hold a discussion with him, he was still very emphatic about the fact that the disposition of the governors as well as the members of this group tallies with his own position, which is that let us reconcile. Let's all pull together, not just in our own interest, but in the collective interest of the ordinary Nigerians out there who have been going through pains, anguish, and sufferings under the leadership of the All Progressives Congress. So it is not just about party leaders. It's about what the ordinary Nigerians out there are thinking about, how they want the economy to be revamped, how they want unity, how they want the nation to be secure. These are the issues.
Let me use the analogy of the World Cup in this scenario for your party. If there is a team out of the 32 or so teams or 60-something or so teams that are going to the World Cup, and they have internal problems and they have their eyes on the World Cup, they know that they might be deceiving themselves because they need to resolve the problems within the team. You cannot win a World Cup when your team is not united. So bringing that back to your party is the fact that if there is an opening according to the G5, the PDP G5 and the Integrity Group, and saying this is not the first time, it's almost 2 weeks now that they've been saying there is an opening for negotiation, one would think that that opening will have, that void would have been filled fast enough.
Well, you are not in the system, so you might not understand some of the things that are going on.
But I hear a lot.
And I
believe me, when you were on this other side, you know how much, as a political journalist that you were, you know how much a political journalist,
The assurance that I want to give you is that, luckily for us in the People's Democratic Party, we still have time. Election is in February. We're in November. I know in the political environment, in the political firmament, one day, 24 hours is like eternity. So for us, we have enough room, enough time to harmonize within ourselves. And I am glad that even the governors are saying that they want reconciliation. The candidate says he wants reconciliation. So what is just left is the harmonization of the reconciliation.
Well, it does look to me, Kola, that
yes,
whatever they wanted, there is still on the table the request that IU must go.
Well, with the subject of whether IU will go or IU will stay, like I've repeatedly said at various fora, is not within the ambit of what the candidate will decide. It's a function of the National Executive Committee of the party. And I want to say this, and I say it with every sense of responsibility, that whether it's the governor of Rivers State, whether it's the governor of Oyo State, whether it's the governor of Abia, or Enugu, or the governor of Benue, they have the capacity to call for a NEC meeting. So if they call for a NEC meeting, we'll go to NEC and take a decision on what should be the pathway for the party.
How easy, if that is a major factor, how easy for your party and the candidate? Atiku Abubakar has said it repeatedly that he will allow the constitution of the party and the lawful process to take its course.
Sheung, you know that decision...
He has shown his own stance and his position.
But he was speaking to the truth, because the decision of the party is guided by rules, by conventions, by history. So what the presidential candidate has said, and I mean Atiku Abubakar was right, Adamawa, what he has said is in conformity with the constitution of the party. However, if there will be new grants, it's not a thing that an individual can decide. We need to go to NEC and go and take that decision.
See what former Governor Yodele Fayose said right on this program.
Yes.
He said that he supports Atiku Abubakar, as the candidate of the party.
Yes.
Or he has also said that it is a given that I will support Atiku for president in 2023, but the party cannot ignore the protesting governors. And you remember what happened to the PDP when you had the Atiku Abubakars of this world, the Amechis of this world, walked out of the National Convention. It wasn't a polite one. What followed? What a bloody nose for the PDP at the general elections. And so when these kind of things happen, they have repercussion. Can your party afford a 5 states being led by 5 sitting governors fall out of the hands of your party in terms of the election?
Luckily, we just watch the 5 governors now saying that they are open for reconciliation. And I just told you that a few days back, the candidate, Atiku Abubakar, was in Lagos. He met with the Guild of Editors, and I was even surprised we were not around. And at that meeting, he was asked the same question. He was very emphatic about his readiness for reconciliation. And I said, even today, when I had the opportunity to speak with him, he was still very emphatic on the reconciliation. And I said, look, the pathway to this reconciliation, we can go to NEC and go and take a decision about it. And I've told you, all the governors have the strength and the capacity within their party to demand for NEC, and they know how to do it. So we are
how distracting is this for your party?
Whether we are distracted as a party
with this internal
No, it's not about distraction, it's about concern. I would love it if you say that. How concerned are we in the PDP?
I'm saying how distracting is it? Because you are dealing with an internal issue, then you want to focus on the election. So that's why I ask, how distracting is it for your party?
If you talk about concern, it will be easier for me.
So you are concerned
to engage.
Is the candidate very concerned about it?
If you talk about distraction, I do not understand.
Is the candidate concerned about it?
Every member of the party, including Nigerians who saw me in the church today and called me aside and said, what are we doing? Everyone is concerned. Everyone. Look, you need to understand how Nigerians are feeling about the current situation in our nation. You need to know the pains. You need to know how impossible it is to put hand in the pocket and bring out money to even feed. That's the environment where we are coming from. So it is about the concern of Nigeria. And as you know, the only political party out there that Nigerians are rallying with is the People's Democratic Party. And the candidate they are rallying with is Atiku Abubakar. So they are concerned that, look, why don't you just put these things behind you and let us have a situation of, oh, this election is a walkover. That's what Nigerians are telling us. And so I believe in it. I subscribe to what they are saying. And I know it for sure. APC has failed. Woefully, nobody, no serious-minded Nigerian is in the realm of contemplation of allowing APC to come back under whatever guise. So on account of that, Sheung, we will do everything possible in the People's Democratic Party to make sure that we go into this election as one family.
Well, what step would that take?
So don't leave that to us now. Let us take our decision in our party. Let's decide it.
So you have just
it's for
said,
us in our party.
So when it comes to how you guys organize your affairs, you say we should leave it to you. But you also know the implication of what happens in your party and how it affects the nation, because your party is not outside of the nation as a polity.
Yeah.
You operate within the nation, so Nigeria. So whatever happens in your party, either peaceful or not, still affects our politics and affects our governance. So the question is, how are you going about it?
Sure. I want to give you assurance, and through you assure Nigerians. I have said this over and over and over and over. And I'm happy for one thing. Even the governors who are in disagreement with some situations in respect of the party are saying that, look, they are prepared for reconciliation. And the candidate too has said he's prepared for reconciliation. And I can give you the reason why we're having all this. If, for instance, you look at the realm of our governors, you can find performance. Look at the national stage, the federal government has been trying to float an airline. They can't do it. It's not rather it took 2 billion. All we got was a logo. In one state governed by PDP, there's an airline. I talk about it, but yeah, I hope we are not going to charge me for advertising here. And in that same state of Akwa Ibom, roads are being constructed, lanes are being created in the same way. So Nigerians already know which of the parties that feel for them, that they can harmonize with, that they can support to power. And it's the PDP.
I imagine,
the issues that you are speaking to, we will do everything to make sure that we put it behind.
I imagine how much of cutting of the average voter's interest that you are trying to do for your party ahead of this election, and perhaps, I don't know, how you're going to also preach to the voters that, look, don't mind this disorganized situation in our party. We can handle Nigeria. Is that, how do you want to convince Nigerians?
Our party is not disorganized.
But you have chaos on the inside.
No.
You have crisis on the inside. Do you have crisis on the inside?
We don't have chaos. We don't have crisis. We have disagreements. And even in a family of three, father, mother, and son or daughter, there can be disagreements. So we don't have a crisis situation in the People's Democratic Party. There are disagreements, and it's a very discomforting disagreement.
Okay, actually, disagreement is a synonym of crisis.
I agree that we are experiencing a very...
You're saying the same thing.
I agree that we are having a discomforting disagreement.
So that is the point I'm making. How do you tell Nigerians that, oh, PDP is having disagreement,
I've told you,
but trust us that we can handle it?
I've told you.
I've given you an opportunity to sell your party.
I've told you emphatically that we are going to harmonize and put these disagreements behind us. So before we go into the
you are giving the assurance, but the question is, you have not answered my question.
You are saying that how
do you hope to convince Nigerians that, oh, this is our party, we're having problem, and you say that the nation also has challenges, but as problematic as our situation is, we can still fix it.
So you are the one saying that the issue is problematic. It's not now. So you and I can have it as we are seated here now. We can disagree.
Of course.
And we can resolve immediately.
But that's not what is happening in your party.
Wait now. We can disagree here and we can resolve immediately, Sheung. You know it. So I'm saying that, look, and even you are pushing me and I don't want to talk. You understand?
You have been invited to speak, actually.
I don't want to speak.
You have been invited to speak.
I've told you that the ordinary Nigerians out there are very concerned. I've said that.
And I'm asking the question on their behalf.
And I said that.
Mr. Ologbandiyan, yes. I mean, there is a popular, you're a Yoruba man.
Yes.
And let me ask you this. And there is a popular Yoruba proverb that says, he who wants to don you with a clothing, you actually look at what he's wearing. Yes. You cannot promise me a fantastic dress or clothes when you're putting on a rag. So the question is, I'm still giving you, I'm asking the question the third time. Yes. How do you convince Nigerians tonight, those probably who are not decided yet about who they want to vote for, that we have, let me use your language, disagreement in our party, and you want to take over a nation that you have said is in problem?
You have left out a phrase here. You left out a phrase that's very important.
What is that?
What's that phrase?
What's that?
We have disagreement, but we are going to reconcile. That was what I said. That we'll put all this problem behind us and harmonize and move together as one party. That is the dream of the ordinary Nigerians out there. And that we'll work towards accomplishing that. And you asked a question, which I also responded to. And I said that everybody in the party, apart from being concerned, that the leaders who are talking about disagreements in the party have a responsibility to call for a NEC meeting. Let us go to NEC, sit down as a family, and resolve our crisis. So,
Kola, the question I was asking you boils down to the issue of trust.
Yeah.
So if you are asking Nigeria to entrust the nation into
yes. They've trusted us in the time past.
Okay. And the APC said
they can still trust
that
us.
was a disaster. That was the APC.
That is APC that told Nigerians that it was a disaster, that lied their way into power, that fooled Nigerians and came to power. What is the end of it? What has come out of it?
So you guys are asking Nigerians to bring you back to power.
We have said this over and over to Nigerians, that when we return to power, we have demonstrated in our respective states the capacity of our party to deliver on good governance, and that we will repeat that same thing. Go to Akwa Ibom State, for instance, you will find a 21-story building called the Dakada Towers, built by a governor of the People's Democratic Party. Go to any state you go to that is governed by PDP, there's a difference. Even Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari is being invited to go to PDP states to go and commission projects, whereas those who were elected into governorship offices in his own party are unable to invite him. This is a clear demonstration. This is a clear demonstration of the stuff that PDP is made of. And I'm saying that, look, Nigerians know that life was better when PDP was in government, and as such, they are still looking on to us and say, look, yes, we believe that you can make a difference. Just come back and make that difference.
Let me ask you this, and it's pretty straightforward. There is a question mark, a very big one, that your party members have raised, and it's about whether or not Nigerians can also trust you, because there's a lot of distrust when it comes about the unity of this nation, the North and the South dichotomy, and this ethnic division that we are seeing in our country today. And the governor of Rivers State had made an inference. I guess he was responding to Mr. Atiku Abubakar's statement, you know, when he was making reference to the appointment in the security sector of our country, and how he said there are lopsided appointments based on ethnic spread and balance. And Governor Wike had said that you are talking about that, but what about, isn't that the same question, the problem that is bedeviling the PDP? That is a very big question that your party is raising.
So what is the question? What question are you asking?
You are saying that you can unify Nigeria.
Yes.
You're saying your candidate is a unifier.
Yes.
But he's saying that, look, the same ethnic problem that is being established on the national stage is being seen in your party.
So to the glory of God, I will not forget, you and I were together at the National Convention ground, which held at the stadium. And I remember that we stood together, we chatted, we spoke. And by the election that held that day, at that National Convention, every geopolitical zone in this country participated in that election. And our candidate that emerged from that election, Atiku Abubakar, represented Nigeria as a nation, because every geopolitical zone was present, votes were cast, results were counted, and he emerged. Having said that, our candidate is a unifier. We have no doubt, it's not in contest that our candidate is a unifier. And I have set out to unify this country. And I can subscribe to that without even asking questions, without questioning it. And my reason is very simple. In his personality,
let me allow you
in the offices.
Let me allow you to directly respond to that particular statement from Governor Wike. Take a listen to him. Okay, all right, we'll get it to you in a moment.
So I was saying that in his personality, in the offices he has occupied, you cannot accuse Atiku Abubakar of playing ethnic politics. You can't. We are both reporters here. No, I was privileged.
All right, so sorry, it's ready now. Let me allow you to listen to that.
Yep. I hear people go to town hall meetings and they say all kinds of things they say. They say they will implement restructuring. They will make sure that every zone will have a member in the Security Council. That it is not good for one zone to produce all the security chiefs. You see, it is not good, but it is good for one zone to occupy all party positions. You see how Nigerians are. You see how we are. I will implement that every zone will be represented. I will implement. That is town hall meeting. That is debate on television. Because everybody wants Nigerians. Oh yes, he said the right thing. But no Nigerian want to say, let us start from this one now. Let us start from this one. Starting from this one, we will know what you will do when you get there. It's not true. Don't be so. Start from the party.
All right, Mr.
Yeah. Without going into conflict with Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, let me lay what I know about the People's Democratic Party. Let me make it abundantly clear. Until APC came into office and began somewhat what could be called an ethnic agenda, in which the vice president and the office of the speaker will come from the same geopolitical zone. For the 16 years that the PDP ruled this country, you never had that scenario. And that was what Atiku was speaking to. The first 6 major offices under PDP's rule, and you can fact check this, is always distributed among the 6 geopolitical zones. And I speak to the office of Mr. President, the office of Mr. Vice President, the President of the Senate, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Secretary to the Federal Government, and if I remember very well, I think the National Chairman of our party. These offices are equitably distributed.
What about now?
What do you have now? Today as we speak.
You have a national chairman from the North Central.
Today as we speak.
You have a presidential candidate from the Northeast.
No, wait now. Situation led to that. And that will only be corrected that can be further expanded. What we have presently, the offices that have been occupied now, you have the national chairman coming from the North Central. You have the presidential candidate coming from the Northeast. You have the vice presidential candidate coming from the South. So you have 3 offices left, which can only be occupied after the election.
Can you justify the first? No. We are dwelling.
Let me make
so
my
that
point
we don't waste the time. The question is, can
point.
you justify the national chairman position and the region which it comes from, and the presidential candidate?
You must take into consideration the circumstances that led us to where we are. You cannot.
Isn't that the reason why this governor is saying correct this?
Listen, you cannot treat this matter in isolation. It's not possible. As we speak today, I've told you about the 6 offices. And the 3 offices that have been occupied so far are the offices of the presidential candidate, the office of the vice presidential candidate, and the office of the national chairman. And Northeast has taken the presidential candidate, the South has taken the vice presidential candidate, the national chairman has been taken by North Central. So we have the office of the Senate President, we have the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and we also have the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Until elections are conducted, and this office and the party has won, believably, I believe we are going to win.
So you're saying that let the injustice continue? Is that what you're saying? Let the injustice continue? Because that's what your members are calling it.
You are calling it injustice, but let me explain to you.
No, that's not my language. That is the language of your governor there.
You're also aware, Sheon, that if we go into the issue of, the president candidate is in the north, the party chairman is in the north. And okay, they say let us adjust it now. Please, how do we adjust it in the immediacy without a doctrine of necessity? For us to be able to correct what we are saying now, it means that we have to set aside our constitution as a political party and now go into the matter. That is the reality. That is the truth.
Let's close this conversation.
If we talk about the respective 6 offices as occupied via geopolitical zones, what the party has done so far, is that 3 out of the 6 offices are already occupied by the various zones that are supposed to occupy them. The remaining 3 will be occupied when elections are
we need to close.
But notwithstanding, we can go to Nelka.
We need to close now. I mean, there was another mention of another controversy.
Which one?
I just have 30 seconds if you can answer to it.
Which one is that?
The statement made by your candidate Atiku Abubakar in Kaduna at the Arewa leaders meeting engaging the presidential candidate. The issue of which region of the political presidential candidate should be voted for is also raising.
Let me tell you something. You know, in politics, subterfuge, intimidation, all those stuff. You understand? Blackmail. They are normal, patrolling our own climb here, the way we do our own politics. We bring them in as a normality. Atiku Abubakar did not go to Kaduna to go and say that, oh, me, I've come to Kaduna, oh, don't vote for this person, don't vote for that person. That's not correct. What Atiku Abubakar said was that when he was asked a question about why he believes that he should be voted for in the North, and he said, look, I am a part of you, but I have built bridges. So you don't need looking for any other person. So he went to Oyo State. What did he tell them when he went to Oyo State to speak to the Southwest people? He said, I'm married from you. So vote for me. He went to the Southeast. He said the same thing. So what are they talking about?
We need to leave it at that.
Atiku is the most tribalized candidate among all those who are roaming the states.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ologbandiyan. Yeah, thank you so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you, Sheung.
I appreciate it. I wish you your party the very best.
By the grace of God now. We are winning already.
Oh, yeah.